My friend, let me show you how chakras, energy work, tantra, yoga, reiki, past lives, oracle cards, hypnosis, and kundalini is just 4D illusion. You see, we have a physical body that interacts with 3D. We have a soul that interacts with 4D. And we have a spirit that should interact with 5D. And we can see here that we actually have body, soul, and spirit, and it subdivides into multiple bodies. And that actually dictates how you will manifest. Okay? Comment 13 if you want the book. But let's dive right in. You see, all of these things end up being an illusion. Because no matter if you depend on 3D things or 4D, okay, let's talk about the chakras. A lot of people get obsessed with chakra cleansing, chakra balancing, kundalini activation, reiki, pranic healing. Oh my goodness, but they don't understand that they are being kept in the proverbial hamster wheel. That's why you gotta keep going to these activations, keep working on it. Keep working on yourself, okay? This is all under the law, okay? Paul talked about this in Galatians, okay? You should read the whole book. It says that a man is not justified by the works of the law, and that includes anything that you do that binds you back to the old system, okay? The repetition of, different things that will get you a certain result, because that's the thing. They give you a specific result because they are moving in different levels of energy. So if somebody's over here, okay, let's say somebody's over here, thinking that, oh my goodness, vegan or, keto diet, or I gotta be a carnivore, that's the best way to stay healthy, and they're like super lost. And you got somebody over here with a higher energy level, but not necessarily a higher consciousness at the level of the spirit. We'll talk about that. But just higher up in the tree of knowledge of good and evil, well, for this person over here, they're going to think that these guys are asleep, right? It's so funny. But in reality, just part of the same freaking illusion. And the Word of God puts it very clearly, Let me show you something. Both levels share the same hidden assumption. Something created can restore me to wholeness. That's silly. That's why whether it be a molecule, a herb, a technique, a frequency, a ritual, a system, a routine, a repetition, an outcome, a plant, psychological process, like healing, true healing is relational to Jesus, my friends. You never see Jesus charging his chakras before multiplying the food. And feeding, 5,000 men and women and children, You don't see him having to do a cleansing or doing, whatever thing before walking on water. Again, the 4D illusion is more subtle because it feels like, oh, well, I'm working on my chakras, right? Like I'm so advanced, so I'm using some oracles, I'm so intuitive, or I'm using a pendulum, I can channel. And it's like, guys, this is all just a symptom that you don't have a relationship with God. Jesus would just say the word, and I've been able to heal many people, many, many, many people. Even crazy stories like growing the leg of a man, rebuking cancer, rebuking kidney stones. Okay, but again, it feels like you're so spiritual with your sage and your crystals and your, rituals and things like this. But in reality, the highest power is in Jesus. Okay, this is coming from somebody that is well-versed in energy with actual tangible proof. But even Daniel became master of the magicians. And it was said that he was found 10 times better than all of the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. Very powerful. So no matter if you're an astrologer, a witch, a warlock, a spellcaster, a medium, a psychic, any wise man or women, most people are not ready for this. But a lot of people want to start here. Biokinesis, where I tell you how to heal any disease and the real cause of any disease. Okay, this is huge, my friends. Okay, comment exactly what you want and I'll give you access. I will send you the link or more details. But you gotta understand that anybody that is operating here or here has not understood who is the one true God and how the Bible is actually from Genesis to Revelation, the infallible word of God. Even though it pisses off many people, they don't understand how it was all written and how to read it. So make sure that you take action if you truly want to know who you are, the architecture of your being, and how to actually manifest at the highest level. So you're not stuck with high level. This is all the new age. Repetition of intention, visualizing, trying to embody, acting as if. No, this is all part of the freaking illusion, my friends. Any of these things, they have their own level of result because we're not saying they're not real. We know, but we just know exactly where they operate and the type of power they have. Do you guys remember the story of Moses versus the magicians? How even the magician could also transform astrally, with astral powers into a serpent, but Moses' staff became a bigger serpent and ate the one of the magicians. Okay, that's what happens over and over when you serve the one true God, the Trinity. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free, and then everything will come to you effortless without manifesting a single finger. Crazy, right? Comment below where you feel you want to get started and enter our field. Blessings.